their terms of reference as security of the tally center and installations, the tallying center's logistics, planning and organization, security of members of the commission, staff, VIPs and other visitors, transport for commission staff, any other duties assigned. Important, those are 2 commissioners. None of them has been assigned to tally and verify. The third letter is on page 43, and this one is addressed to Commissioner Justus Nyang'aya. Again, Justus Nyang'aya is appointed to be in charge of dignitaries and protocol. And in the second paragraph, he is told that as team leader for dignitaries and protocol, he will be responsible for providing support services to the Commission, managing protocol of dignitaries and VIPs, managing access to the Presidential Tally Center for accreditation, for accredited media, observers and agents, and any other responsibility. Now, those are out of 6 commissioners. Those are 5 commissioners. None of them is assigned to tallying and verification. There is a last letter, also dated the 22nd of July on page 44. This one is addressed to Commissioner Professor Abdi Guliye and Mr. Marjan Hussein Marjan. I wish to point out to this court and ask the court to note that Marjan Hussein Marjan is not a commissioner, but he is merely the CEO of the IBC. Now, these 2 are appointed to the results management team at the Presidential Tally Center. Their duty. The tallying process continues unconstitutionally as it was being conducted, and I want to pose the question and attempt an answer to the question: how does that process then end? That process ends as set out in paragraphs, again the same affidavit of the chairman, at paragraph 76 onwards. But the story that he tells, or the deposition that he makes, starts in paragraph 66. And I will read it because it is important. He deposed: shortly after 2 p.m., the commissioners and I had a meeting to be briefed on the final results by the commission secretary / CEO, an alternate leader of the Tally Center. The meeting was only for a briefing. He then goes on to say, the briefing was to be done before my declaration in accordance with Article 138(10) of the Constitution. So according to the chairman, all that was going to take place between him and the commissioners was a briefing, and he then goes on and declares the results. What did he do? After he narrates the story of the visit between paragraph 67 and 75, he then goes on under the substantive heading Commission Briefing of Final Results. After the NSAC team had left, the Commission Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, who was also the alternate leader of the team of the Tallying Center, Mr. Marjan Hussein Marjan, walked into the boardroom. The purpose of the meeting was to receive the final tally of results of the presidential election before I could proceed to declare. From the chairman's own evidence, he assembles a team that comprises Professor Guliye and Mr. Marjan. They tally and verify the result, and Mr. Marjan is merely coming to brief the commission. What happens after that? There is between paragraph 77, where he states that copies of the results were handed to the commissioners, and that is all that was done. The result had been tallied and verified elsewhere. The copies are merely handed. There is a conversation. There is no agreement. And of importance, at paragraph 81, the chairman deposed as follows: I walked out of the meeting room accompanied by Commissioner Professor Guliye, Commissioner Molu, and the Chief Executive Officer. And he then went to the auditorium and declared the results. In the chairman's own words, and I submit that his narrative of what took place is important. That is how the tallying and verification of the result in the presidential election took place. To answer or to attempt an answer to the question, that is sought by this court by framing ground number 6 as it is, whether IEBC carried out verification, tallying, and declaration of the results in accordance with Article 138.3c and 138.10. I would answer that question in the negative. Tallying was carried out by the chairman alone. At best, the chairman, Professor Gulie, and Mr. Marjan. A quick look at Section 5.1 of the IEBC Act would disclose that those 3 gentlemen, however eminent, are not the IEBC. What the Constitution enables the chairman to do on his own is to declare the result. I submit that the election is a process, it is a progressive process, and the completion of one process enables another. If you do not complete voting, you cannot tally. If you don't complete tallying, you cannot declare. I submit that tallying and verification, having not taken place as provided by the Constitution, then there was no result for the chairman to declare. There is an attempted justification by the chairman for his decision to tally and verify the result on his own. That justification exists in an affidavit sworn by the chairman. This time it is drawn by